y'all doing? It's your girl, your Tina and Knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. While I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. One of your favorite female content creators that have the most non-biased content. I'm always going in on both men and women because I believe all of us have issues and things that we need to work on, and we all should constantly be seeking areas in our life in which we are trying to grow and better ourselves. So, no further ado, before we discuss what's on the menu, I want to give a big ups to all of my subscribers. Those of you who have been sharing my content, who have been subscribing, I really appreciate that. I thank y'all so much for just taking the time out to do so. Those of you who have been cash apping, donating, I appreciate that as well. So just keep on showing the love, keep on sharing, keep on subscribing. Again, every little bit of help is better than no help at all. So again, I just definitely want to take the time out to thank y'all for all of the support. So I wanted to move in today's content. What's on the menu? What's the recipe of today? Why the high value square dude should not marry a hood booger. And I felt it was imperative that I discuss this because I've been noticing that this is occurring a lot in the black community, but I don't want to be biased and just say the black community. I'm sure it happens in many communities, but I can more so identify with the black community because that's, for the most part, that's the area in which I am involved in the most. But I'm sure it's other cultures who also share these similar issues as well. So as we all know, we don't have to go into the Will Smith and the Jada Pinkett thing. Everybody's been flooding the YouTube streets with it, and I've done 2 different uploads giving 2 different perspectives on it. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. So all of us have been giving our feedback, putting in our input, but the thing about it that I felt needed to be addressed is because there's a lot of guys. You have a lot of these men that are high value square dudes. So let's first define what is a high value square dude. I consider a high value square dude as a man that's successful, that is ambitious, has goals, who wants to fulfill the dreams of being good husbands, good fathers. In other words, they have all their morals together, they have their standards together, but the problem is they apply all of these morals and standards and ambitions with the wrong type of women. And I have reason to believe that most of these high value square dudes are men that are, again, successful and driven and are great providers, but they lack confidence when it comes to the area of selecting women. They don't have a lot of confidence. Now, keep in mind, you have a lot of these high value square men that are good men, good providers, make great husbands, make great fathers. But there's certain things about them in which some women, especially women who aren't woke or women who are jaded, especially alpha females, these type of men are consistently overlooked because most women would consider them as lame, kind of cornballish, a little weak, too passive, and the problem is you have these type of guys that are a turnoff to certain women, especially alpha women, because alpha women, they prefer men that's more aggressive, that's a little bit more, I don't want to say combative, but they would prefer men that are going to kind of stand up to them and put them into place to a certain degree. Now, this is how alpha women feel, and although these are the type of men that the alpha, the narcissistic alpha female would prefer. If the high value square dude keeps pursuing her, he's running after her, he's chasing her down, especially if she's a hood booger. A hood booger female is a female that has a hood mindset, You know, she's rough around the edges, combative, toxic, you know, the typical hood booger. You know, we don't have to go into the details. You already know hood booger, you know. Just a rough around the edges type of chick, you know, confrontational, and just loves to, you know, put herself in drama situations. Some of these hood boogers were raised by older hood boogers. They were raised by women who taught them how to be confrontational, women who taught them how to be argumentative, how to be combative. So anytime you're dealing with these type of females on this type of level, and you have the high value square dude that keeps chasing after them, even though she may not initially be attracted to him, she may initially not even be interested in him, because again, the hood booger, she's a rough around the edges type of chick. So therefore, she would rather deal with dudes that are on her level of caliber. You know, she rather deal with the Pookies, the Ray Rays. But when the Pookie and the Ray Ray that she desires, or that she wants, or who she has a child from, is not willing to comply, even though he's a male hood booger, because that's basically what Pookie and the Ray Ray is. And the fact that he's not willing to comply, and he's just as combative as her, she starts to feel defeated. And she finally gets to a point in which she realizes, the hood booger realizes, I can't get Pookie. I can't get Ray Ray to kiss my ass. Even though, you know, this is the dude that I desire. This is the dude who I would respect more. And this is the man I would prefer to be with. I cannot get him to comply with my shenanigans. So therefore, if the high value square dude chases behind her long enough, and she's finally reached that place of desperation where she realizes that she's not going to win the Pookie or the Ray Ray over, now she's willing to give the high value square dude an opportunity. And if he's a man in which he's not used to getting attention, especially if the woman is very beautiful, very attractive, the high value square dude can easily be won over by an attractive woman, even though she may be ratchet, she may be hood booger. The fact that she's just attracted to him, and she's a beautiful woman, and the fact that he lacks confidence and he's not used to beautiful women giving him attention, he may very well take the bait. Most of the time, he's going to fall for the okie dokie. Because again, like I said in my last content, just because a man is successful, it does not mean he has high self-esteem. Just because a man has a good career, a good job, and he has all of these qualities that make him a potential husband, a potential soulmate, he has all of these qualities. The fact that underneath all of that, he is a man who does not have a lot of self-worth, because any man who has confidence or has self-worth, he will be able to spot a hood booger no matter how attractive she is, no matter how aggressive she is, even if she's the one pursuing him, running behind him. A man who has confidence can tell when a woman is pursuing him, because either she's really interested in him, or he can tell, nah, this female done been ran through. She got that community cooch, you know, she done broke down all her walls, and now she's trying to pursue a man like me because she done been ran through all the Pookies and the Ray Rays. So you have some of these guys, they have a ratchet radar. They can tell when a woman is only pursuing them because she's been ran through, she's been had, you know, she's tired of being had. She wants to be chosen now. She wants to be taken care of now. You know, she done ran the streets long enough. She done prostituted herself. She done pimped herself out. All these baby daddies, you know, if she doesn't have any children, or, you know, all this high penis population, you know, mileages she has on herself. Now she's ready to settle down, and the man who has confidence, he's able to spot that and read that and know, nah, she's not checking for me. She's just looking for Captain Save him. But the high value square dude, he doesn't consider that. Again, this is a dude that's not used to getting attention, and because of his success, he automatically feels a sense of entitlement that he should be with a woman, that a woman should be choosing him, should be selecting him, because again, he has all the receipts of producing that he's good husband material, good boyfriend material. So basically what tends to happen is the hood booger who realizes the community has discarded her, she will finally give the high value square dude some play. And if he's a simple guy or he's a guy who lacks self-esteem, he's not going to read in between the lines. He's going to really feel like, oh, she really wants me. She really desires me. She's really checking for me. No, she's checking for you because she done played out. And you're the only man that's giving her the time of day, that's showing her some interest. So it's kind of like, a woman a guy who's been pursuing a certain female for a date, and she's been declining him, telling him no for months. And now that her dating life has hit a drought, nobody's checking for her, she'll call him out the blue. Oh, what's up? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like stunned because he hasn't heard from her in months. Figured she lost interest all this time. He hadn't heard from her. And now he's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we can go out. We can have a good time, this, and that. And he's not even realizing, she's only reaching out to you because right now she's going through a dick drought. Dudes ain't checking for her like that, because all women, regardless of how beautiful, how attractive, how successful, it always has that seasons of dick drought in which dudes aren't checking for you like that. No matter how much you and your single girlfriends go to the club, how y'all got to turn out, have a good time. Y'all going on cruises, y'all taking these trips together, and just, it's those drought seasons where dudes just aren't checking for you. You know what I mean? And you're just not hitting on nothing. And most single women will attest to that. And those of us who've been single before can attest to that. I know, before I was married, me and my single girlfriends, the only difference is I was like under my 20s because I got married when I was like 21, 22. But during my adolescent or, during my younger woman youth days, I've experienced a lot of that. It was a lot of dick drought, where guys just was not really courting you. And it done got even worse this day and age. I seen a woman post it on her Facebook page, like, why are men no longer approaching women? And it's even worse now because social media has contaminated it for everybody. And women have overly advertised themselves on Instagram, on Facebook, all these social media sites. They have overly advertised themselves, with the Instagram photos, with the thought photos, just being overly sharing of themselves. Men don't even have to be curious no more. Usually a man would have to approach you and ask you out and get to know you before he could even see what your body looked like, other than he had to use his imagination on a date, depending on what you was wearing. But it wasn't put all the way out there. And it's like now that women are putting it all the way out there, the curiosity of men being interested in being curious enough to want to get to know a woman, to want to get to pursue a woman, it's not there like it used to be. And we have social media to thank for that. Well, we have not social media, but we have the thirst trapping women to thank for that, who have used social media as a thirst trap tool to lure all of these desperate beta males into seeking them. And it's basically giving these beta males the advantage to cut corners. These guys don't have to ask you out no more. They don't have to wait to catch you in the street to ask you out. All they got to do now is just DM you, inbox you, messenger you on your Facebook page. And the majority of the reasons why these women are so turned off when these guys inbox them with, hey, beautiful, this, and that, because they're getting that reply from so many other better males that are also DMing them and inboxing them. So Even if a man is genuinely being interested in them, she does not know how to receive it as such, because again, she has overly exposed or overly advertised, so to where so many men are pursuing her. So even if there is a man as a gentleman who genuinely wants to get to know her, she's going to shun him off. And again, social media has kind of ruined that. Back then, when people were able to approach you, you was able to get that vibe. You was able to get that connect. You would know if it was there or not. But social media has pretty much hindered and ruined all of that. So nevertheless, as I stated, eventually after the dick drought, if it continues too long, she'll eventually give the high value square dude the time of day. So what ends up happening is that she finally gives the high value square dude the time of day. They start dating. They start going out. He's probably very open with her, of course, if he's not used to getting attention from women. And at this initial stage, I'm sure he's very flattered with the fact that she even gave him the time of day. And he's thinking now that he's arrived, when really she's just trying to fill him out. She's just trying to get him to kind of fill in the gaps of the drought, because again, the hood booger, the Pookie, the Ray Ray dudes that she really wants, she's not getting nowhere with the Ray Ray. So you got Mr. High Value Square dude that's filling in the gaps for the moment. Or if she realizes that she's never going to get anywhere with the square, with the thug dude, with the Pookies, she'll go ahead and actually she'll sign him off. She'll allow him to get on board with her, especially if he's willing to do everything that she couldn't get the Ray Ray or the Pookie to do. So this is what happens, and you have these guys who end up with these type of women, and she makes sure she seals in the deal. You have women that will go so far as to having children from the high value square dude. May not even want children, but she wants to make sure she has it to where he's going to be a permanent investor in her life, meaning that even if she decides one day she doesn't want him, she doesn't want to be with them, she knows that she has something to where she could still benefit from him from. And if that's the children, she's going to use that to her advantage. And you have a lot of women who do this. You have a lot of women who have children, who build families with the high value square dude that they don't want, don't really love, but at the same time, he does have something that's a benefit to her, which means he's a provider. He is producing income. So you have women that have already plotted and have already pretty much mapped out their plan, and they have decided, well, even though I know this is what I want the Ray Ray and the Pookie, but I know the Ray Ray and the Pookie, he's not going to give me what I need. He's going to give me what I want, but he's not going to give me what I need. But here it is, the high value square dude, because he wants me, he's going to give me everything I want and need. So again, she's at the crossroads. She has to make a decision, especially if she's getting older, especially if she's a woman who already has children, a single mom who already has children from, the Ray Ray and Pookies who have failed them. However, she knows she has to make a decision, and she has to jump on this deal while it's hot and ready. Kind of like when you see that dress on sale and it's 30% off, and it's only 2-3 dresses left on the rack, and only one of those dresses are your size, you got to hurry up and grab that deal. You got to hurry up and get it, because if you don't get it, it's going to be gone. And that opportunity is not going to be there. So the hood booger realizes, the low common denominator alpha female that has not had the best in luck in getting the men she wants, she realizes she has to settle. So in many cases, what tends to happen, once the high value square dude feels like he has conquered her, he has mastered her, not realizing that he hasn't mastered a damn thing. In fact, the only thing he mastered was making himself convenient for her, not realizing that he's not the select dude that she really wanted. He's just a select dude that she really needs. So they end up forming this relationship. Like I said, in many cases, he is so overjoyed with the fact that this woman is giving him the attention he's not used to getting. He'll not only give her the privilege of having his children, he will also give her the privilege of being his wife. And this is when things really go downhill for him. So again, you have to realize the high value square dude is used to being successful. He's a go-getter. He's driven. He's a provider. He wants to win, not at being just successful. He also wants to win that woman's heart. He wants to be what they call it, the jack of all trades. He wants to master every area in his life. He not only wants to be successful as a businessman, as a provider, he's going to also try to be he wants to also cover success in those other areas as far as being a father and especially being her husband, because again, he's not used to attention. He's not used to a woman really having a real desire for him. So he has now created this family. He has children with this woman. He has married this woman. And what tends to happen is a lot of the time, the low caliber alpha female, she will entertain the shenanigans, meaning she will pretend to have a love for him. And the love that she's pretended to have is not so much for him. It's the fact that he was willing to be a client. He was willing to invest into helping her in a moment of being in a broken place. In other words, he's not realizing, it hasn't registered to him that this woman only built this life with him, not because she loved him, not because she sincerely desired him, but because she realizes this is the only man I'm going to get to practically kiss my ass and do everything I want him to do. So what tends to happen is both parties get love confused with basically ass kissing. In other words, he feels like this woman genuinely loves him when she's only kissing his ass or going with his shenanigans because she knows this is the final bus stop. This is the final stop. There's no other trains coming in the station. She knows that he is her final hope. She's tried to rate on Ray Ray. She tried to rate on Pookie. None of these guys are giving in to her demands. But the high value square dude is. So on the strength of that, she's going to force herself to love him, not for who he is, but for what he does. And because the high value square man lacks self-esteem, he lacks discretion when it comes to women, he's going to sincerely feel like this woman is with him because she loves him. But like anything else, over time, you get tired of pretending, faking the funk, going with the flow, entertaining shenanigans. And this is the reason why you have the low caliber alpha female. She starts mistreating him. And he doesn't understand it because he's looking at it like, hell, I know I'm a good catch. I'm a good provider. I work hard. I'm taking care of her, taking care of my kids. I got them in a nice home, I got a nice car. He's not understanding because, again, he's lacking discretion with women. He's not comprehending why is she dogging him, dragging him, disrespecting him. And the reason why the disrespect is coming into full fruition because she's tired of him. To be honest, she was never even interested in him. Now that she has gotten used to him playing this role of being a great father, the great husband, the great provider, now that she's living with him, and he's probably, because again, he's genuinely in love. The high value square dude is genuinely in love. He's gushing over her. He's some of these guys, again, not used to attention, not used to women desiring him. He's probably overly smothering her because he's so glad that a woman is showing interest, even if she's pretending to show interest. So he's being this overly smotherly, lovey-dovey dude. He's cupcaking her, and it's starting to piss her off. She's tired of pretending with this high-value square dude. So this is when a person gets tired of pretending, this is where the disrespect slowly but surely starts willing itself in the marriage. And it could be several things she might do. She might still try to hit up her old Pookie or old Ray Ray, still talking to them on the low, still talking to her baby daddies on the low. Because if she's been with them long enough, she feels like maybe I have proven my point to Pookie and Ray Ray. And since my Pookie and Ray Ray, who I really want, who don't want me, sees that this high value square dude wants me, is providing for me, desiring me, maybe this will be enough to make Pookie or Ray Ray reconsider the fact that I was a good catch to them. And what the high value square dude is not realizing, he was really the rebound dude the whole time. She really just, you was the layaway dude. She just had you on standby, hoping that eventually the Ray Ray and the Pookie who she wants will get threatened or get intimidated by you, and he'll just swoop her back up and take her back on. But what the Ray Ray and Pookie does, in some cases, he may try to will her back in, but in most cases, he be like, shit, I'm glad somebody taking off my goddamn hands. I don't want to deal with her ass. Or he knows the Ray Ray and Pookie, they're smart enough to know that the low caliber alpha female is only using the high value square dude to make them jealous. Even Pookie and Ray Ray knows, even though the high value man has a career, has a success, the Pookie Ray Ray has enough confidence to know he has something that the high value square dude will never have, and that is the low caliber alpha female's heart and respect. Tupac wasn't tripping off of Jada being with Will. You think Tupac cared? Pac knew how Jada felt about him. So he never had to run behind Jada. He never had to step the wheel. He never had to do any of that to win Jada over. He already knew he won Jada over a long time ago. Why you think when she talks about Tupac, she cries, she get emotional? That was the man she really wanted, but she knew that Tupac was not going to be that high value square dude that Will Smith was. And guess what? Will in his heart knew that. And he's been trying the majority of his life trying to prove that he knows he can't be Pac, but he knows that he was willing to try to come as close as to winning her over as much as Tupac did, but the whole bottom line was he was never going to win. You have the low caliber alpha female who will use the high value square dude. That's a wonderful provider. That's the successful man. She will hold on to him because she knows, again, he's not everything she wants, but She's everything she needs. And you know who else is helping with the issue? These low caliber alpha females, it's their mothers, it's their aunts that's telling them, hey girl, you better get on that. You better stand with that man. You can't tell me Jada Pinkett probably told her mother several times, I love Will, but I don't want to be with him. Now, I know personally a female who did this. She was with a high value square dude, had a great military career. He basically pulled her out the slums when the baby daddy who she was first with left her to be a single parent, Pookie. The high value square dude loved her so much, and he was so glad he was finally getting her attention, and he wasn't realizing that he was a pawn. She was only giving him attention because the Pookie that she wanted wasn't feeling her like that. So he was honored. The high value square dude is honored to pick up where the last man left off. They take that as a badge of honor, which it should be a goddamn disgrace, but they take it as a badge of honor. Took her in, took her son in. She played the role for a while. When she saw the Ray Ray Pookie was not responding, she got tired of pretending. And this is what tends to happen. The hood booger or the, low caliber alpha female, she's tired of pretending to love him. So she starts low key doing disrespectful stuff, talking to her ex, talking to her baby daddy. And what tends to happen is the high value square dude, he slowly is feeling that she's withdrawing from him. Because now she's tired of playing, she's tired of pretending. So he's starting to notice the distance. And his ego, because again, he's used to being successful. He's used to winning at everything. He wants to try to will her heart back in. And what it does is, for the low caliber alpha male, it frustrates her, especially when the man she really don't want is so clingy and so needy, and he keeps running after her. Keeps pursuing her. She's becoming annoyed. So this is where she starts talking to him all kind of way. Starts, picking arguments, picking fights, belittling his manhood, doing little things to annoy him, because the truth is she's annoyed with being with him. She wants out, but at the same time, she also then got accustomed to the lifestyle. She got accustomed to him providing. She got accustomed to him pretty much being at her every beck and call. So she basically done trapped herself. She trapped herself because she really want the Pookie, but the man she don't want is doing everything she wants. And he's giving her everything she needs. But at the same time, you can't make yourself want something you don't want. And this is where the marriage between the high value square dude and the hood booger low caliber alpha female, this is where it starts getting turbulent. It becomes a power struggle, because she really don't want him, but she wants all of what he has been providing to her over the years. And she knows even if she wanted to leave him, and if Pookie and Ray Ray wanted her back to date, she knows that she's going to lose the benefits of that high value square dude's lifestyle. So because she can't leave, although she wants to leave, she'll just start mistreating him. She'll just start taking him through a whole lot of unnecessary changes. And if he doesn't have the wisdom or the discernment to understand what's going on, he's basically going to be beating himself up, not feeling like he's not good enough, not feeling like he's not worthy enough. He's not going to understand. I've given this woman everything. I work my ass off. I pay all the bills. We're not struggling, not wanting for anything. What am I doing wrong? Why is she still reaching out to old dude? Why is she still acting like she got feelings from dudes from her past? And here it is, I'm having her everything. I'm giving her everything she wants. You are giving her everything she wants. But the problem is, dude, she never wanted you. And it's sad, but you have some people, when they really want out of a relationship, they're not man or woman enough to say it. They'll just take you through misery. They'll just drag you. And it's a manipulative tactic, because they want to drag you where you would get to that place in which you'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call the shots and end it. They don't have the courage enough to end it. They want you to do it first. That's the crazy part about dealing with the low caliber alpha female. Um, she's not going to be the one to end the marriage. She's just going to continuously keep stretching the high value square dude. She's going to keep stretching his patience, seeing how much he's willing to take. And in her mind, because she's so toxic, she feels like the more shit he's willing to take off of her, the more that he loves her. The low caliber the low caliber alpha female, a man, his loyalty, she respects his loyalty by him accepting her toxicness. She feels like the more he's willing to accept her toxic behavior, her disrespect, in her mind, is helping her to feel validated that this dude loves me. And guess what? This is just straight up dysfunctional. This is toxicness. And because the high value square dude does not have a confidence within himself as a man, he doesn't see anything wrong with that. He feels like, if I got to be her attack dog, if I have to accept her disrespect in order for her to prove, in order for me to prove my love for her, he's willing to do that. Now, I know the average guy, that doesn't make any sense. But again, you cannot perceive this from a place of a man that has real integrity. So it's not going to make any sense to the average man why the high value square dude thinks and reasons with the love for his woman in this manner. So the high value square dude, he has learned to function with the dysfunction, with the toxicness of his low caliber alpha wife. Now, I'm not saying this is the case with all black men and all black women. This is just a specific case scenario. So let's not take this and apply it to every black woman or every black man, because every black woman is not a low caliber alpha female. You got women that are willing to be submissive and willing to not put their husbands in a position in which he has to be an attack dog to prove his loyalty, to prove his love, because she loves him enough to also keep his dignity and his respect, while at the same time still respecting and loving her as his wife. A real woman knows her husband don't always have to be an attack dog to prove his respect, to defend her. Just being a man, handling his business, and putting a man in his place is good enough for her. Every battle my husband has ever had to fight, it hasn't always had to be a physical one for me. Just politely and respectfully checking a man and putting him in his place where he knew not to try me, ever. No man should ever have to feel like he has to be an attack dog to prove his loyalty. But with the low caliber alpha female, that's what you got to do. And you as a man, you can't be so infatuated with how good she gives head, how pretty she looks. You can't be infatuated with her physical attributes. Pay attention to her character. Pay attention to how she carries herself as your wife, how she conducts herself. And another thing, does a woman put you in a position in which you got to be her attack dog? If she's around here smashing other guys, doing things inappropriate outside of her marriage, that gives men the room, especially these Pookies, these Ray Rays, or whoever, that gives them the room to challenge you, to challenge your manhood, and to challenge your wife. I can't be out here smashing other dudes, and then if me and my husband in the public streets, and he's acting all cocky and arrogant like he got the best thing on this planet, When you have some Pookies and Ray Rays out there that's just as overly emotional and just as dramatic as some of these toxic black women, they'll provoke you just on the strength of that. Oh, this clown, he walking around here like he really got something, like he really bought something. Well, I've been smashing his wife. I've been smashing his old lady. That's trash. She dumpster juice. He walking around here like he got a prize. And he went dumpster diving for that. I hit that. My boy hit that. My daddy hit that. My uncle hit that. And you do have some high value square dudes that walk around here very cocky and very arrogant. They so proud of their dumpster juice. And got the nerves to disrespect other dudes about their dumpster juice. You do have some guys that's around here. I'm like, if you're going to be happy with your dumpster juice, be humble about it. Don't walk around here all high and mighty and dignified like you just know you got you a queen, when you really got you a peasant. You got guys that walk around here. I know some guys who act like they are married to the Queen of Egypt. And a woman they're so proud of done smashed every dude on the block. It took him years to get her when everybody else got her in a matter of a week or 2-3 days. And he around here, he's so glad that the low caliber peasant chose him. And he walk around here with his nose up in the air, flexing his muscles like, yeah, got me a queen, what's up? And dudes is mocking him, laughing at him like, bro, you got you garbage. That's yesterday's garbage. That's leftovers. You proud of something everybody else done already had. And this kills a man in his spirit to his heart when he really comes to the realization of being a high value square dude. When it really sinks in and he looks back at all the times he has embarrassed and humiliated himself, all this time he's confronting Pookies and Ray Rays. I've seen guys do that. I've seen some guys who get with the low caliber alpha female, take care of her kids, do all this stuff, and because she's trash talking her Pookie Ray Ray baby daddy, he a bum, he this, he don't take care of his kids. The high value square dude, his self-esteem is so low, he takes it as a badge of honor to take care of another Pookie's Ray Ray's kids. It's a badge of honor. He wants to prove a point to that man that I got your woman and I got your kids. You got some high value square dudes. It's a badge of honor to take another man's problem and take care of his kids. And they cocky about it. Russell Wilson. And a lot of women get offended when I talk about stuff like this because you have some of these women out here who feel like no matter how many bad choices they made, is that if there's a captain save them who wants to deliver her, who are we to say anything? Who are we to comment? Who are we to put in our opinions about Russell Wilson? Dudes that are willing to be the cleanup man. Because what it is, they internally, that's what they want. They want a cleanup man, and they calling him a good man, but it's not so much he's a good man. He's a cleanup man. He was willing to pick up where the last man left off. And guess what? I'm not knocking that. That doesn't deflect that he's not a good husband. He's not a good provider. But at the same time, I don't think no man should walk around here honorary like they got a prize when everybody know your prize was once a Pookie prize. Nothing wrong with loving your woman, supporting your woman, but be humble with your Pookie prize, because that's what she was. She was once upon a time, she was the prize possession of a Pookie. Now she's with you, she's acting all bougie up like she ain't never been with a Pookie in her life. And her kids are a lifetime reflection of that. But hey, who am I to judge? If there's a cleanup man, you got Russell Wilsons out here that's willing to clean up and and introduce her to a whole life, a new life, and give her a better life, then, you know, props to him. Big ups to him. I ain't knocking the hustle, but I'm going to call it for what it is. And it's not just men. I mean, men, you know, men who doing that. You know, you got women also, like I said, you know, who's up here, you know, getting these guys for cleanup dudes. So you got these men, that are looking down, you know, on men who put themselves in a position to be disrespected. And as a man, as a woman, women, we can't identify with that. We're looking at it like, what's the big deal? So what? If he wants to be with her, he wants to take care of her despite how much she disrespects him. What's the big deal? As a woman, you're not going to understand that, and it ain't for you to understand because you're not a man. No more than a man is not always going to understand and identify with our emotions as women, why we feel the way we feel about stuff, why we reason with things the way we do. It doesn't make us weak. It makes us different. But the high value square dude, you know, he walks around like he got this prize. And what ends up happening eventually is his prize ends up shaming him. I know dudes who have done this, who have picked up hood boogers, women from the slum, put these women onto their world, put these once upon a time Pookie prize possessors, put them on a pedestal, because he and rescues her from that Pookie life, puts her on a pedestal, and she ends up treating him like the Pookie. Now, Sierra may be one of those women. She may not do that because she realizes after getting a rude awakening with Future that, oh, she ain't there about to turn up with Russell and put him in a funny position in which he got to fight her battles for her. Why you think when her and Russell call themselves going to some type of party or event, they found out Future was there? She said, oh, hell no, we getting back in the limo, we leaving. Now, a lot of guys commented on that video and they looked at it like, oh, Russell wasn't being no man. He knew better. He knew not to go in that party because he knew all that trash he been talking about Future and Future's son. He knew Future was going to put them hands on him. So a lot of guys looked at it like Russell was being soft and he wasn't being a man because he allowed Sierra to remove him from that situation. But she did the right thing. She was protecting her husband. She know Future is a little on the ratchet side. She cannot afford to allow her clean-cut husband, who had this reputation for years, to get in that situation and things jump off, words are exchanged, and her husband's legacy is tainted for life because God forbid Future say something to him, look at him wrong, because there's already tension, a little tension between the both of them because of Sierra or whatever. She knew things was going to jump off. So as a wife, as a woman, you remove your husband from toxic situations when you already knew. She knew Future and her had a toxic relationship. And she know they have a unhealthy, they're not in a good place. So why, as a wife, would she allow him to be in that situation? When they went up there and somehow was brought to their attention, I don't know if they saw Future or somebody said Future here, she got in that limo and she left. And he left with her. Everybody was like, oh, he a simp. Oh, he was scared to step up. You damn near better be scared when you got a brand. This man is millions. He can't afford to get in no scuffle or no fight with no damn Future that's making 20 times less than him. And this doesn't mean Future's less than a man because of his money or whatever. The whole point is Sierra knows her husband's worth. She wasn't looking for Will Russell. Well, if you my husband, you're going to walk up in this party. And if this man said, if Future says anything to me or you better check his ass and get him right together. No. Abort the mission. That's what wives do. Everybody's talking, you know what the part is? Everybody's talking about how all of these women are so proud that Will protected his husband. I mean, that Will protected his wife. Nobody said anything about how Jada didn't protect her husband. Wives, we have a job. We got to protect them too. I know it's the stereotype of men are leaders, men are supposed to be protectors, and they are. But at the same time, if you know your husband is in a vulnerable position, you as a wife, you don't just sit there and because you know you have that kind of power, he has so much love for you, he's willing to do anything to please you, even if it means embarrassing himself. No, that's not a good look. Because now the hurtful part is now Jada's really not going to be able to protect her husband. Now he really can't protect his wife. Know how many people coming at them now? When all they had to do was simply get up, hold hands, and walk away. You know how small that would have made Rock feel? Think about it. If after he made that comment, if Jada just would have reached over and grabbed Will by his hand, and Will responded and he held her hand, and they both got up and walked out together, do you know that would have sent waves of, now this is a power couple. They both love each other enough to protect one another's feelings, one another's reputation. They walked out the Oscars together as husband and wife. That would have spoke more values. Like, you know what? Y'all can say what you want to say, but that's die hard love right there. Both of them walked out. He ain't gave a damn about no Oscar. He cared about his wife being protected, and she ain't gave a damn about seeing him getting this Oscar. She's concerned about another man supposedly making a joke out of her situation, and she doesn't want her husband to have to be penalized for coming to her defense. We out this bitch. And then that would have been their time to come together, because eventually all the news sources, everybody been like, okay, Jada will leave in the Oscars after Chris Rock made his statement. After Chris, know who would have had to apologize? Chris Rock. A man defending you does not mean he got to be your attack dog. Just being a man, handling himself, knowing what words to use. Just his aura. You know a man when you see a man walking in the room. He ain't got to scream, I'm a man, I'm a grown man. If you got to scream you're a grown man, then you ain't a grown man then. You gonna know a grown man as soon as he come in the room, like, oh, that's a grown man right there. You can't just say anything to him. You can't just walk up to him any kind of way. You'll know a grown man when you see one. His spirit and his presence is going to announce it before he does. Hello. But the high value square dude, he should never marry a hood booger, because she's going to cost him. He's going to be fighting and fighting to prove his loyalty through toxic means. But that comment, just my husband holding my hand, meant way more to me than him getting up there slapping the taste out somebody. I've been in uncomfortable situations, and my husband felt my presence, felt my aura, and would comfort me or remove me. And I felt protected and defended just by him caring. Everybody don't have to be on attack dog mode. And I get it. There's so many women out here that aren't used to being protected. So when they see a man protects a woman, even if he's doing it in an unprofessional, humiliating, embarrassing manner, to them, that's a badge of honor. No, it's not a badge of honor, because it is so much, you're going to lose behind it. And your name is everything. And one thing about the industry, look at Jussie Smollett. And we know it's two totally different things, but sometimes your actions can take away everything you have ever built. Even if it was a mistake. Yeah, we're human. Yes, we make mistakes, but mistakes comes with consequences. Even if you didn't mean it. Yes, we're human. Yeah, I was drunk, had a bad day. Guess what? Never been caught drunk driving in my life. The one time I get behind the wheel and I'm drunk driving, the police officer pulled me over. Guess what? I got to go to jail. Even though he can see I never been locked up before. He can see I never been drunk driving before. He can see this is the first mistake I ever made. But guess what? I broke the law. I still got to answer to my one-time mistake. Even if I didn't kill nobody on the road, but if he sees me swerving enough to give indication I'm drunk driving, and he does a blood test, an alcohol test on me, he sees that I'm drunk, guess what? He's locking me up. He's not going to let me sit out here and keep driving so I can eventually kill somebody else or kill myself. And he's not doing his job as an officer to allow me to keep driving, all because, well, this is just one time. We just going to go ahead and give you a pass. I know you're a little drunk. Just go ahead straight home. And God forbid, later on, he finds out I killed myself or killed somebody when he had, at that moment, he could have set example then. So, nevertheless, you know, the whole overall point that I've been really trying to make is sometimes as a man, as a person in general, this really goes for men and women. You have to accept the fact when you have just made a raw deal for yourself. You have to accept that. It comes a point when you have to accept the reality that you did not choose the right companion. And until you accept that, you're going to find yourself on the losing end. You're going to find yourself miserable. You're going to find yourself bleeding on other people who didn't cut you. You're going to find yourself depressed, miserable, all because your pride, your ego, you don't want to lose. And in actuality, you are losing. You're not winning. And I think until Will Smith, in addition to many of these other men out here who have been so successful at so many things, they don't want to accept defeat, especially when it comes to a woman they love. And this also goes for women as well. You have women that are in very toxic marriages, toxic relationships, and they feel like because I put all these years, I got all these kids, I don't want to go out there, I don't want to start all over. That's fine, but you're going to find yourself signing up for a lifetime of misery. And you're going to have to carry that misery with you to your grave. But the whole point of the matter is, because again, you know, I'm more focused on the content was in reference to men that are high value square dudes, successful guys, great careers, great providers, as to why they should not marry hood boogers. You need to marry a female on your level. Opposites do attract, but opposites could also be very toxic to one another as well. If you're a square dude, you need to pick you up a square chick, or at least a chick who is versatile, knowing when to be square and she knows when to be hood. She's to have that. She either has to have that balance, or she has to be a square like you, or you'll find yourself either having to become just as hood, if not more. And the last thing a man wants to do is take himself out of character to appease another woman. Because if you put yourself in a position to do something you really don't want to do, and you're only doing it to prove your love, to prove your loyalty, and you want validation from her, and she still years or so down the line tells you you're less than a man, or she makes you feel less than a man, then you're going to feel like everything you lost it in vain, because you still did not earn that woman's love, and you still did not earn her respect. So anyway, nevertheless, y'all, I just you know, I wanted to give my intake on this because it's a lot of high value square dudes. It's not just Mr. Will Smith. He's just known because of his notoriety and his fame, but we're walking amongst high value square dudes that are married to the most ratchet, low caliber, low common denominator females. They are not only are they with these women, they are married to these women. They're playing stepdaddy to these women kids. They're doing everything to prove their loyalty and to stay relevant. And in reality, they're losing all their masculinity, and they're miserable. And we're going to talk more about that in my future content. We're going to be addressing more of these issues, because it's very important that people are not willing to compromise their mental and their self-worth just to prove their loyalty and their love to someone who has not been displaying that same gratitude in return. So anyway, leave y'all comment below. Let me know what y'all think about this. Make sure for y'all exit, hit that like button. It takes a second. Just click that like button right now. It helps my views. And also it helps to promote the content better as well. And leave a comment below. Let me know what y'all think about this situation at hand. Before I get ready to shut it down, don't forget I am selling cable, 9,000 channels, only $20 a month, usually $25, but I'm doing a promo where I'm doing 9,000 channels for $20 a month. So if you have a Fire Stick, I can supply you with the codes and the information you need in order to download my 9,000 channel free pay-per-view events app within 2 minutes. Or if you need a Fire Stick, I can purchase one for you, and I will already have my cable app loaded, so you don't even have to go through the hassle of putting the app on there yourself. It'll already be done. I can do that for you for $60. So nevertheless, y'all, I'm gonna shut it down. It's your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe. Dad Patterns, from always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Have a wonderful weekend. Y'all take care. Be blessed.